Hi, my friends. It's Bridget again. I'm going to make another bowl, and this one's going to be square. I took a piece of copy paper, and it's just 8.5 by 11, and I made a square, came out to 8.5 by 8.5. So that's going to be the size of my flat template. This was my practice one, and I really love how it came out. I'm going to show you how I made this pattern. Super easy, and I love the size of it. So that's going to be that part. I have another Kaffe Fassett bundle. Obsessed with Kaffe Fassett. Who's not? Love it. Oh my goodness. Master genius. And I took this bundle and separated it into two. It was a charm pack. So I have another bundle set aside for another project another time, which is great. I have my isocord threads out here. Picked some beautiful, stunning, lovely accents to some of these. Just beautiful, as you can see. Beautiful accents. So I'm going to use those with my sewing machine, a sewing machine I have not shown you before. It's my Viking Husqvarna. It's an old machine, and I saw a flower stitch on it the other day when I was sewing, doing some other work, and I was like, that flower stitch has to be on some fabric. So going to experiment with that. We'll see how that goes. And I have my Thermolam Plus here, and this piece is 17.25 by 9.25, which is going to give me some leeway for my 8.5 by 8.5 squares. I'll be able to make two of them here, be making it as one, and then cutting it, putting them together, wrong sides together, and then stitching everything together, and then having some fun with the flower stitch, and then making the darts. I'm going to show you everything that I'm doing. I will be putting everything in the description with timestamps so you can move around or skip over the pattern making. And then at the end, once I have my little bowl made, I had this idea. I want it to be kind of firm. I don't know how this is going to go because this is the Peltex 70. And I know I can't get this through my sewing machine without breaking a million needles, and that's never enjoyable. So at the end, I'm going to take this finished bowl, is my plan, flip it over, and just take some of this polyacrylic Minwax, this clear satin. I'm going to take that outside and do it so I don't get all stuffy in here. But I'm just going to do a layer of that on the outside and see how I like that. I haven't tried it. I just want it to be a little firm because I'm kind of curious how these, once they're made, are they going to be floppy? I don't know. There are some other things I want to try down the road with inserting stiffener and things, maybe some cardboard. But today, this is my idea. So I'm going to do this one and see how it goes. I'm excited to try it. I'm so glad you're here. that was a lot of stitching again, and it came out pretty well. I have some puckering and things. I haven't worked like this on that machine in a very long time, and it did quite well, I feel. The back looks funny even, but I love that flower stitch, and I did go for a darker color. The lighter colors just weren't showing up as much, and I was like, well, why put all the effort in with that stitch if you can't see how beautiful it is? So I'm going to set this aside, and I am going to show you how I made my pattern. I just took a piece of copy paper and made a square. So this will be 8.5 by 8.5. I'm just going to take my paper rotary cutter and I am going to slice this off so I have a square. And you can see it's not exactly perfect. I am not worried about it. I am going to just give myself another fold. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to give myself all the folds because that's what I ended up doing. So we're going to make a little folded square. So I have it folded in every direction. So I have my little triangles. And now I'm just going to mark this center. And I made a 3-inch square in the center. So I am going to take my little ruler here and come up to the 1.5 inch mark here. I'm sorry, it's probably hard to see. Let me do it this way. So 1.5 inches. Just want to double check that that is. Okay, so that's 1.5 inches this way, 1.5 inches this way, and I just have to come down. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. I'm just showing you the way I came up with it. So here down to 3. And then I have my 3. This will be easier once you get the first mark. 3, and then I'm coming down to 3. 3-inch mark. Just going to try to be a little more precise there. And then again, 3 to there, and then 3. You basically, I wanted to have a 3-inch square in the center. Okay. I'm sure there's better ways to come up with that. So now I'm just going to draw my lines in so that I can see them better. For me, it helps. So let me just go ahead and do that. Okay, and now I have my little square. And next, I just want to curve these points. That's just what I chose to do. Just taking a little piece of washi tape spool here, and I'm just getting rid of these corners. It will be easier to sew. And I just like the curve better. Okay, and I can go ahead and just cut those now. So then the next thing I want to do is create my darts. And I'm going to create them on the sides. So first, I did 2 inches in. So I am first going to take my little ruler here and mark 2 inches in on each side. And now I want to, from this line on each side, go out a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to come over here and line this up and just do 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch there. And then all I'm going to do is mark this point to this point. And this is my dart for shaping my bowl. And I'm going to continue on and do that on each side. And there I have my template. I'm just going to snip these out because I will be using this to create my bowl shape. And then when I was making this just to see if I would like it, I just went like this. And this is what I will be doing with the bowl when I do it with the fabric. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I can do it crossed over, or I could just do it like this and see how that looks too. Instead of crossing them over, I might just do that, and then the bowl will not be as deep. But if I wanted to, maybe for another one, I could make it wider, and then my dart would be that much more. I hope that makes sense. If you want the bowl to be more curved on itself, then the darts should be wider. But I'm going to try it with these darts first. These are 1 inch darts. I have decided to make my darts bigger because I can take this one apart and use it as a template, and I have the 1 inch darts there. I'm going to go ahead and actually make these just a little bigger by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go and around the whole pattern and make these larger and cut them out. So now I need to cut this in half in order to create my bowl. And I am just going to check my measurements here. I'm going to grab another ruler. Not sure if it shrunk. I think it shrunk a little bit. So it might be a little shy. It's going to be close. Okay. So I am going to cut this. I'm always so nervous when I'm going to cut these things. There's always more fabric. I do not know why. So 8.5. Eight and a half. Okay. And now I just need to bring these down to 8.5. So now I have my 2 squares. And I was going to do this together, but that's making me really nervous. I would have to put some adhesive in between or something to keep them so together. I am just going to do them separate. It's my first one. I am just going to do my method that I did before. I'm going to take my high-tech weights. And I am going to get my Wonder clips out here. And I am going to clip this to help me. Oh, it's already sticking because the fleece is, so I can't really spin it around. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this and cut it. And I will fast forward this part. Okay, so that's what I have now. Okay, with my boo-boo. So now I just want to go over and I'm going to zigzag these little darts at my machine. Just going to start at the end here at the point and zigzag so they're together. I'm going to go over and do that and do the other one, and I will be right back. That came out nicely, and I had some openings in certain areas, and I was able to just go in and zigzag those closed too. I just did a simple zigzag. That's all I did. At the base of the dart, and as the machine was pulling it through, I pulled it together. It's pretty. That was really very easy. All you do is, as I said, put the dart so that the needle of the machine is right here. And as the feed dogs start pulling it through, you can just ever so slightly bring them together, these two sides together. It's one of the easiest things I think I've ever done. So that was fun. So now I'm just going to flip one of these around and put the wrong sides together, because this will be a reversible bowl. And I am just going to take my Wonder Clips and clip, 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 because I'm going to do my zigzag, the same zigzag stitch around the whole side. And I'm going to have to go slowly because not everything is tacked down. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. Making sure that everything is nice and tidy as I can get it. Here's my bowl with all my zigzagging around the edges, my reversible bowl. And I do think I'm going to just trim the white off a little bit here and there, because I can. So why not? Get my threads all trimmed up. I'm trying to be careful not to trim into the stitching. Of course, I can just go back and do it again. I do love the fabric. I did a photo. So we'll see how this one comes out, and I'll share those with you soon. Oops, I definitely need to go back and zigzag a little bit more here and there, but I can do that. And I changed my mind. I do not think I'm going to polyurethane this with my polyacrylic. I don't think I'm going to do that on this one, because I like being able to turn it inside out each way. So I'm going to hold off on that idea, though I do like that idea. And I will revisit that at some point, because I think it might work in some applications. So I'm excited to try that. But if you can come up with a name for the fabric, I would appreciate it. And it's not bad for a first try. Don't know till you try. That was a whole lot of stitching again. And you can make a bowl in very short time. You don't have to make your own fabric. If you have fabric, it would take you just about an hour, maybe even less, to make a cute little square bowl. And you don't have to be a crazy woman like me and always make your fabric. But I love making fabric. I'm just really passionate about it right now and really enjoying it. So it's speaking to me, so I'm doing it, and I do love it. And if you have a name for this fabric, I would love that too. I don't know if I will print this one, but it's very festive, it's very summery, and I look at it and it makes me happy. So I'm definitely glad I did it. I hope you guys got something out of the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Until next time, have fun out there. Bye.